Hello, hello, hello. Well, this one's a funny one. So it is June 14th, and as you can see, I have inventory everywhere. So you can, if you're watching me for the first time, then you will know for sure that I am not just an accountant, not just a consultant. I am here and I can help you with firsthand experience and knowledge on the platforms. So I come to you as I am, and including with wherever I am in my day for eBay or whatever it is that I am doing online. It looks like my connection may not be the best, so we'll see how long this lasts. I also was pretty late at making the announcement and putting up the notification for YouTube. So I will see what happens, and I'll be here for a little bit. So if anybody shows up, then great. And if not, then that's okay too. There's a lot of cool things coming. Renee and I are going to be bringing some new things to you guys through the podcast and through each of our channels and social media accounts. I also have got my new website is coming up. It's supposed to go live this week. I'm super excited about that and about bringing it to you. And let's see. And I come to you as I am, where I am, and even with bras, not mine, well, mine, but not mine, hanging on my photo area. So you never know what you might see when you pop in. I am in the middle of changing some of my business model, and that means letting go of things, letting out things. I've got other interests that I want to concentrate on, or including, with what I've already got going on. So I see somebody's watching. So pop in the chat, tell me who you are, where you're from. If it's your first time here, glad to have you. And anyway, I just come to you real, there's nothing, there's no filters. I try to put a filter on my mouth, but otherwise there's no filters here. You see my background, you see the fact that I do these other things. So anyway, I'm in the midst of changing my business model a bit, as far as eBay goes. And with that is coming a new learning curve within eBay and within my niche. And just so I'm weeding out. I'm pruning. I'm weeding. As if you were in the call yesterday morning. Hey Dawn, hi. How are you? If you were in the call yesterday morning in the group with Tech and Sports and Daily Refinement, Chris Lynn, then you would have heard about pruning or weeding your store, and we were attributing it to gardening. And when you cut things off, it helps things expand, right? When you trim an apple tree, when you trim a rose bush, when you deadhead the blooms, more blooms come up, more branches, more leaves. Rummage for Riches, welcome. Glad to have you. So I'm in the middle of doing that for my store. I'm willing to talk about anything related to e-commerce, accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, whatever you guys want to talk about on this particular call. I mean, this weekly call. So, just let me know if anybody has questions. Pop in. I am a little bit unprepared today, or more so than usual, because of digging through the inventory that I already had on hand and separating that. So I have made it through everything that I have and separated it into two piles. One is going to lots or flea market this weekend, and the other one is getting listed. And hey, Marcus, how are you? Dixon's Pickens in the house. If you have not subscribed to his channel, go do that. He's great. And I really do appreciate him. So I'm purging, I am pruning, I am weeding my store, my inventory. And even with summer slowdown, it hurts. But when you weed, when you prune, things come back better than ever. So that is, I'm doing my research. I'm doing my research and making sure that the things that I'm listing now reach a certain goal, so that I can actually list less and still maintain. And then that will help me free up my time for these other ventures that I have in the works. I've been doing a lot of research, and I look forward to sharing that journey with you. I am looking to figure out how to do that. I think I'm going to do shorts and share that journey with everyone through shorts on here on YouTube. Until I learn better how to edit. Eric, welcome. Glad to see you. So that being said, that's where I am right now, and where I'm trying to get to. And I can't wait to share the new website with you guys. There's going to be a quiz on it. There's going to be some freebies on it. And just, more information about me and what I do. So hopefully you guys will get a lot out of that. I've got some other things with the website in the works and group type stuff. And I think maybe come July, I might change this call a little bit. So Eric says, glad to be here. Finally made alive at the 9 to 5, but I love listening to the golden nuggets dropped in every video. Perfect. Wonderful. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you want to jump on here with me, I will put the link in the chat. Oh, I think I have to confirm it, but I think that Adam Elm, that was here a few weeks ago with us, with Renee and I, on the podcast, I think he will be back next week and talking about maybe first-time home buyers and things that go along with that, I think. So be on the lookout. If that's something you're interested in, reach out to me so I make sure that I can get you that information and let you know exactly when he's going to be here. I want to figure out a way to put up a calendar. I think I need to put up a calendar so you guys. Oh, I can probably do that on the new website. Exciting. I'm going to write that down. Calendar on website. So, for those of you that are watching, has anybody delved into ChatGPT or any of the AI things? Super curious to hear your takes on it. I started delving into it. I actually have a 30-day challenge. Well, it's not 30 days. I started it in June and I'm going through the end of June. So Marcus says I use it all the time. Are you talking about it on your channel yet? Wow. All right. So look at this. Marcus uses AI for his thumbnails as well. And he's not talking about it on his channel yet. So maybe he'll come over and talk about it with us. So yeah, I don't know what your Tuesday schedule looks like, but maybe one week you could come on with Renee and I and talk about it. She's really huge into AI. She uses ChatGPT for everything, like daily. And I have not gotten there yet. I'm still in, but what about the Terminator phase? So I'm learning and I'm old school. So I watched all the movies and the TV shows and I'm still a little nervous about it. Although I am embracing it. I'm just nervous. Let's see. Rummage for Riches says, I bought a trailer for the business and I want to take depreciation on it, but I cannot find the invoice and neither can the dealership. Can I claim depreciation without an invoice for tax filing? All right. Well, did it come with a title? I mean, did you got a title for it, right? Maybe there is something with the DMV where you showed how much you paid for it. I mean, I would just go for it. If maybe look back in your checking account for records of where you purchased it. And then, that way you at least have the correct amount. And then if, cross the bridge when you get to it, if you have to. And depending on what the cost of the trailer is, you may not have to depreciate. You may just be able to write it off. All right, Marcus. Yeah, sure. It's always scheduled, so we can just make sure that we schedule with you that it's going to be on whichever Tuesday at noon Eastern that you are comfortable doing. And we'll just do the whole podcast around using AI in various ways. I think that would be a lot of fun. And we can stream it to all 3 channels if you want to. I can add one more channel, I think. And Dawn says, yes, please. I was just checking it out this past weekend. So yes, I will. Well, I'm going to be doing something with AI. Renee is going to be doing something with AI that's down a different path. And so yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We're going to have small chats about it on the podcast, and then there will be more information about it on each of our on our social media outlets. So wherever that ends up, mine probably on YouTube. I forget Instagram even exists. Marcus says, Dixon's Pickin says, my channel has exploded since he started using it. That's fantastic. Rummage for Riches bought the trailer new at the dealership, paid $11,000 cash. You know, if you bought it new at a dealership, they ought to be able to find the paperwork. Unless they are shady as bleep. But yeah, they ought to be able to find the paperwork. If not, write out a receipt, write out who you paid it to, like the dealership, their address, their phone number, your salesperson, the whole 9 yards, and $11,000 cash. Do you have where you withdrew the $11,000 cash from your bank? So that would be one way to connect it. And those things are, you know, if something happens and the IRS comes knocking or the state comes knocking, then you have something to back you up. So that's what that is for. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Oh, Fiani, hi. So our resident travel expert is in the house. So if anybody is looking to go take a trip somewhere, reach out to this person right here. If you need me to help get you in contact with her, let me know. She's great. She helped my daughter get a cruise for her and her husband, and I'm supposed to be keeping the kids when that happens, when they go. So this will be a belated honeymoon for them. So that's pretty exciting for them. But yeah, she's the resident expert. And Wayetta, hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you back. Well, this is an exciting day. I was terrible. I didn't put up any of this stuff until 10 minutes before this was supposed to start, and I didn't even expect anybody to show up. So I'm so thrilled you guys are here. You make me happy. My allergies are getting the better of me, and I just took something. Oh, speaking of which, I have to take my other pill. So I'm saying so a lot. What you guys got going on? What can we discuss? Here we go. Says, I'm an awesome granny, and she would love to help anyone with planning their vacation, trip, or staycation. And her page, like her regular Facebook page, is very helpful. She's got a lot of information that she puts up on a regular basis about taking trips. So definitely find her on Facebook, and I'm not sure where else because that's generally where I spend most of my time. Marcus is packing orders. That's fantastic. I am glad somebody's packing orders because I am not. Now, I have to say, I mean, I'm doing it to myself, and I'm doing it now for a reason because it's already summer slowdown. So I just figured if I'm gonna take the hit, I might as well just rip off the band-aid and take the hit completely, right? So I am pruning and weeding and pulling out stuff. I pulled out 100 items last week. I pulled out 6 more yesterday. I'm now going through my niche items, and like yesterday I took down 10. I looked up um the brands again, and of the 10 that I took down, 6 didn't go back. 6 got pulled to go into lots. Only 4 went back up. So I listed 10 and I put 4 back up. So um my store only grew by 4. But 10 brand new items went up yesterday. And that's kind of where I'm trying to stick with. I'm going to stick with the 10 because I'm going to continue to shrink my store and pull out items that don't fit into what I'm trying to move forward with. So it's probably going to be a bit of a struggle for a little bit, but I feel like by the time that summer is over with, hopefully the purging will be done, and I can get back to some regular consistent sales again that are just going to be better sales overall. Fiani says I have to get my packing done as well. I'm going to have to do some summer cleanup as well. How am I doing with lots? So I just listed 2 last week, and I listed 3 lots last week. One of them is just it's not, I didn't know whether it would sell or not, so it's more of a craft type thing for what it is. And then the other 2 haven't sold yet. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. I am hoping that trying to see. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I'm just gonna sell a bunch of them this Saturday when I go to the flea market. I have no people watching and 1 view for 2 out of the 3 lots. I might be priced a little bit high for a quick sale, but because it's working out to be like $5 each on the item, and I did that so that I could still take offers and at least break even. So we'll see what happens. My goal is to at least get my money back for the items, so that I can just put that back into inventory. Rummage for Riches says, just finished the morning sourcing trip and also pruning my eBay store, switching over to mainly clothing. See, what is it? A little over a year ago, probably, I niched down to 2 different items within clothing. Like, that's it. So, I mean, one's hanging there. And that's what I'm going for now is basically that. I also have jewelry in my store, but I'm probably going to move that over to Poshmark. I'm thinking I might move all of the jewelry to Poshmark. I just hate to list over there with all the stuff that happen, with all the extra stuff that you have to put in to listing for eBay. And I just hate, it's still, for me, it's easier to list on eBay than it is to list on Poshmark. And I know I've got people that are listening or watching later that are going, what? Because there's so much less to do. But it's more convoluted to me. There's too many things you have to click through in order to get one listing done. So if Poshmark, if you're listing, simplify your listing process. Not what you have to enter, just how many things you have to click through in order to get one item listed. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, the whole lots thing, I'm really hoping that it's gonna work. I've bought a lot of lots on eBay for selling. So I'm hoping that there are other sellers in my niche that are, would be interested in buying these things. So right now I have a small lot. I've got a bunch of lots of 2, but those are more for just your general customer. Then I've got one lot of 10 and one lot of 6. And it's advertised as a reseller lot. So if you guys know of a place that, to really do lots with, I know, what's his name? Shoot. Big YouTuber. Anyway, he had a website where he was doing lots for a while. I tried sending a couple of things to him. Well, you don't send it to him. You just send pictures and the information, and they put it on the website. But the website for me was very hard to use. It did sell one listing, and then the rest of them I just got rid of. But I went and bought a couple big boxes. 18 by 18 by 24, because I couldn't find just a plain 20 by 20 by 20. So I have 2 great big boxes, and one of them is about 3/4 full of that stuff. So I'm guessing there probably is going to be, 70 to 100 items in it. And so I should be able to ship that to most places for $50 or less. And I know that there's a couple of sellers that on eBay that do a lot of that, of the bigger lots like that. So we'll see. I've got the inventory coming in. So if I can flip it even at my cost on a regular basis, then I'll have the outlet for those to go off to other sellers that are listing more items than I am. So I'm hoping it'll work. We'll find out, I guess. I see I'm having issues with internet again. I hope I'm coming through clear still. So I'm just sitting here kind of talking to myself, people. I am toying with the idea of switching this over to streaming a Zoom call, so that I can have people come in to the Zoom, and instead of like this, you guys can still watch on here. Oh, great. Perfect. Thanks. So if you guys think that maybe a Zoom and then streaming the Zoom would be better, more helpful, easier to use, let me know. I do have that as an option. And for some reason, I never thought about it before. Hi, Jamesy. Come here, buddy. Stop. Leave that alone. James. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on, big guy. Come up here and say hello. Come on. I've got stuff. Well, that's what I'm using right now is StreamYard. And hi, Run the Comps. Leave it. How are you doing? So yeah, StreamYard is what I'm using right now, and it does work well. And I'm actually paying for it these days, so it is. Excuse me. All right, so I had items laying on the floor that were going to go in the trash anyway, and he wanted to use them as a blanket. So he was scratching at them. So Don likes a Zoom better. Okay. So we got one for Zoom. Vianney likes the Zoom idea. Fino. Okay. Fino is Run the Comps. Yay. So glad to have you. I'm glad that you finally caught one of the lives. That's great. And tomorrow, right? Yeah. Tomorrow's the accounting call. So I'll be in the group tomorrow. And we've got, however long. We've got up to 3 hours. Chris, welcome. Thank you. Glad you're here. I've just been rambling for the last 30 minutes. Anybody that has any questions, feel free to ask them. I will put there's the link if you guys want to come on with me. I've got, some things in the works, and we're talking right now about maybe switching over and doing this call through Zoom, and then I'll stream the Zoom call. So Chris says that she is currently at work, her real job, but can listen and works from home a few days a week. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you get to listen while you are at that nasty 4-letter W word. And I say that, but I mean, I enjoy working. I just don't enjoy working for another company outside of my house. I'm open to working for other companies. I'm open to working for businesses because that's my thing, small business. However, I don't want to leave home unless I'm getting to go camping or something like that. So I prefer my t-shirts and my stretchy pants. Let's see. Okay, so Run the Comps says, ran out of receipts from garage sales. Going to buy more unless there's something else you suggest. I'm going to go through these things fast. So, hey, instead of doing the receipt books, really all you need to do is one of those little flip notebooks. You can get like a 5-pack for, a couple bucks. But just, put all the same information on it, and then just keep all of them in the little notebook, and just keep the notebook in the car until the end of tax year, and just have 1 or 10 per year. But at least if you're doing it that way, then you're keeping them all together. They're staying in the little book. And when each month, when you go to do your bookkeeping, you've got everything there and it's all in order. So maybe that will help. Chris says, I'm going to be starting listing inventory that has been stored and resurrecting my eBay store in a few weeks. What are accounting things I need to consider? All right. So have you done anything for this year yet? 1, 2, are you using my workbook? 3, your cost of goods are going to be, it's you just need your total inventory purchase for the year. And if you did not claim, or if you are, well, I need to know what you were doing on your taxes for previous years. So were you maintaining an inventory, or did you not count everything? Have you not done taxes for eBay before? And it's so, if you go to wherever you buy your stuff and you spend $50, then oh, okay. Well, look at that. All right. So Chris has been out of the game for over 10 years. So this is exciting. Getting all started again. How cool is that? All right. So yeah, there's a lot of really super cool things that you get to go do now. So yeah, just keep all of your receipts. You don't need to keep an inventory, right? So you might want to keep an average cost of goods. So you would want to keep a running average cost of goods for the year, so that you know that you're not overspending and you can better calculate your profits as you get started again, to make sure that you're not overspending on items. But it's all about the averages. So if you go to the store and you spend $50 and you bought 100 items, then you know that they were what, 50 cents a piece. Okay, so yeah, I think we talked a little bit once before, maybe on the last accounting call. And if I'm not mistaken, then you are in the reseller group. And if you're in the reseller group, I did a call on 9/30/2021, and it actually says it. If you go under my link in the calls, it says beginners accounting call. Take a look at that, and we can if you can you get on the call tomorrow in the group, and we can talk some more about it then too. But it's all about the averages, all about making sure that that you're not overspending, and knowing what your numbers are, like your break even point is on eBay. So okay, so here's the thing, Chris. Since you have stock that you've bought in the past, and you're really starting this business fresh, you can count those items. So say if there are thrift store items and you think that you maybe spent $1 on them, okay, then just count them all and attribute the dollar to them, whatever you think you spent on them at the time. And this is the time to do that. Now, as you're restarting your store, and then we can get everything. You need to get through all of that storage stuff before the end of the year. At least get some numbers together so that all of them can go, all that stuff can go on your taxes before the end of the, for next year. Vianney says, do I hold calls for other businesses besides reselling or any in the works? Calls. Well, I mean, this one isn't just reselling. I will answer questions for any small business here, or any business here. And if I don't know the answer, I will let you know and I will do the research. But I mean, I've been an accountant for a while now. So, I mean, my interest is small businesses and in general. And because I do the reselling myself, then I'm able to help in other ways other than just accounting and bookkeeping. So, whatever you have, let me know. If there's anything in particular that you're looking for, I'm open to give it a shot. So if you wanted me to hold a call for a particular type of business, we could talk about it. And Chris is getting nervous with my advice, but that's okay. I can help you get through it. Dawn asked if I know anything about small business health care. So I have people that do. If there's any question in particular that you have, let me know. You can claim health care on your taxes. I mean, the insurance premiums, even if you pay for it out of pocket and it's under your personal name, you can still claim it under the business. And Fuse Products. I have a question about last year's workbook information. Do we bring the inventory portion of the book to the 2023 workbook? Nope. Everything starts fresh for each year. That's the beauty of doing the taxes the way that we do them, and also for the bookkeeping, because we get to start fresh each year. We at the end of the year, the workbook stops. We just finish up for the stuff, and then for taxes, everything that we bought up to the end of that previous year gets written off on the taxes, and wash your hands of it. So if you're using the cost of goods calculator in the workbook, then it could be a little bit ugly in the beginning unless you already have unless you already have a pretty set amount that you spend on things, like you have a source that you're buying from, and so all of your stuff is $4 a piece, for example. So if that's the case, then it's not gonna, then you don't really need the the cost of goods calculator anyway. But if you are going to various thrift stores and buying different amounts, then it starts over at the beginning of the year, and until you get some of those lesser expensive items in there, it kind of tends to be a little bit higher at the beginning of the year, but it'll come down if that's your business model. All right, so Dawn, are you sure that you need to find different coverage? One, because you might still be eligible for the insurance that you have now if you talk to them about what this would be a good time to bring up what was actually on your taxes. Hang on just a second, Chris, I will grab that for you. All right, so here is the link to all of my stuff, and the link to the workbooks is the very first link in the top of that, and you will be looking for the reseller edition. So Dawn, you may still be eligible for that. If you're not eligible for that, then you can look into Marketplace. Marketplace is also based on your income. So there may be some, you might be able to get enough credit for the year to keep the cost down. And then, depending on how you finish out this year, then next year, maybe a little bit more. Also, if you don't use a lot of healthcare and you're just looking for something that's more of a, what's the word? A keep you healthy kind of insurance, what's the well visit type stuff, then I have a guy that is great with that I can get you in contact. And if you just want to get the information from him, I mean, it's free to get, just you just guys would have a conversation. He would tell you about what he does and ask you a few questions, and then he will be very transparent with you on whether or not he thinks that you would be a good fit for what he offers. You're welcome, Weta. I hope I'm not butchering y'all's names. When I don't say them all the time, I may not be getting them right. And I know that people don't get mine right, so I mean, I've kind of gotten past that at this point, but I know what it feels like, so I strive to say your names correctly when I can. All right. Wow. Well, thank you guys for being here. We're already almost 50 minutes in, and I was thinking, because I had messed up, that it wouldn't, I might be sitting here talking to myself the whole time. So I'm really glad that you guys came and are talking with me, and I will look into doing the Zoom going forward. All right, Dawn says, thank you. I'm going to double check the amount I put, but pretty sure it was the amount we came up with on my taxes. Okay. All right. I have not personally done the the marketplace stuff, but I've got several clients that have, and I've seen the paperwork on the backside when it, for their taxes. So I do know that, based on your information, that you might have, you might be pretty good with the marketplace as far as costs go. Thank you, Vianney. You're awesome too. And I'm glad I can help. And yes, definitely bring your questions next time. I look forward to hearing what they are. All right. What else we got? We got a few more minutes to go. And then I'm going to get back to laundry, inventory laundry, and separating the rest of this stuff. And then I'm going to get my listings knocked out for the day, and also get 10 items. I'm going to pick the next 10 oldest items and go through those, and we'll see if any of them make it back up. Vianney says, one last question. I want to have all accounting stuff together. Would I benefit from the all business workbook? Okay, no, actually, you can very easily do all of your stuff together. And the only difference between the all business workbook and the reseller workbook is that the reseller workbook has more tools. Yes. So yeah, definitely the reseller workbook. Everything else is the same. Like, all the basic stuff is the same, but the reseller workbook has the eBay tool and the Poshmark tool in it as well. Chris says, thank you for laundering your items. Some don't, and it creeps me out. You're absolutely right. Well, for one, eBay requires it. So if they find out that you're not, you risk losing your account. But yes, everything gets washed. Sometimes several times. If I pull something out and I find it still has a stain or a mark on it, I'll throw it back in maybe 2, maybe 3 times total, and then I'm like, okay, you've got to go and in the trash. And I don't take things back to the thrift store unless it is a solid wearable item. It doesn't go to the thrift store. It goes in the trash. I don't want it to end up back in stuff that I may get back in my inventory. That's my thinking. I don't want to accidentally pick it up again, one, if I'm in a thrift store, or 2, I don't want it to make its way into the bins or somewhere else where maybe some of the people that are sourcing for me may be getting their stuff, and then I end up with the same item back again. Now, how likely is that going to happen? I don't know, but I don't want to take the chance. Chris says, I always did, never steamed them, always got great comments on how good they smell. Well, that's great. I use, okay, so I was using a unscented detergent, and then I started using Dawn, and I just don't use much because I have an HE washer. So I would use Dawn, and now I'm a member of shop.com, and I ordered 5 gallons. 5 gallons. That is heavy. That was one big box. The It's a 2.5 gallon containers of laundry detergent. I've got laundry detergent for years. Even with eBay. It's crazy. I'm like, what was I thinking? Um, but it has a very light fragrance to it. And when I use a vinegar rinse, I always use a vinegar rinse. And so my items come out smelling very, there's not really perfume to it. And with what I sell, I get some things that are heavily perfumed. Um, I mean, Victoria's Secret is I can't even walk by the store myself. Like I if I go to a mall and there's a Victoria's Secret there, I go to the other side and like hold my breath and run down the aisle. Same thing with Bath and Body Works and all of those other types of stores. I can't, the smells get to me. So I put vinegar the um in the spot for where it says fabric softener, and everything comes out nice with just a clean, no chemical, no perfume type smell. um that's another reason why some of the items I get washed several times, is because of the perfumey smell. um and then, like, I use the bags to store my items in with the SKU number on it, but I don't close the bags, because Michelle in our group has talked about um those chemicals, the the that they put in the wash soaps and things like that, and um they can become rancid over time, especially if it's stuff that is in a sealed bag. So I don't seal my bags anymore. They until I go to ship them. I seal them when I go to ship them. I've one time I had someone complain about the smell of an item, and they had gotten my item confused with a different item that they had received. All right. So we have a little under 2 minutes left. Is there anything else that I can help with before we scoot? If you are in the group, I'll see you over in Michelle's call. I'm going to go over there and listen while I get some more work done. Um, so that starts here in a minute and a half. She can yell at me about not drinking water. Um, but if you're here, if you get, please like, share, comment in the actually under the video. And again, Adam Elm will be back within another week or so on the podcast with Renee. Renee and I will be back next week. My website's coming up live, supposed to be this week. Of course you did, Dawn. So yeah, lots of great things coming. Super, super excited. And hopefully next week, this time, I can come back with you guys and share the new website. So hopefully that will be ready then, and I'm super excited about it. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. If you are going to over to the clothing call, I'll see you over there. And otherwise, I'll see you next week right here. Bye. Thanks.